when things start to go wrong, what do? Do we get closer to the fire or do we move further away from it? We move further away from it and we start to isolate ourselves because we're embarrassed. And we don't want anybody to see that we're struggling. And so we isolate ourselves. The problem is if you are trying to heat up in life, you got to get closer to the fire, not further away from it. As I was prepping, I was thinking, what are the things that will take out a man? What are some things that will take out a man? And I wrote a list of 5, and I want you guys to write this down. Number 1 is pride. Pride will take you out. When you start thinking that you know it all, when you start thinking that you have everything together, when you start thinking that you can do everything by yourself, and when you start operating from a perspective of, I got this, I don't need anyone else, your coach tries to give you information, you're like, yeah, I got it. I know, bro, if you knew, I wouldn't be freaking telling you. If you knew, your leadership wouldn't be telling you. We're having a conversation with you because you have proven and gave all the evidence in the world that you don't know, which is why we're having a conversation to begin with. But if your pride is so high, if you are too prideful, if you are too proud to say, you know what, I'm not the man I need to be. I got to grow. And guys, I'm not talking up here from a place of perfection. I'm talking up here to myself. I know that the moment pride creeps in is the moment this whole thing collapses. And I can't allow that to happen because my family's counting on me. And because of how big we've grown, your family's counting on me. And I can't let pride get the better of me. And you can't let pride get the better of you. We got to step up as men. You with me? Number 2, anxiety. See, what's crazy is everything, hear me, everything God makes for good, Satan turns into something of evil. And when that happens, it creates anxiety in your life. There's a spiritual warfare that happens every single day. There's a war every day that's going on. You guys can say war now. War. There's a war that takes place every day. And it's the person you're trying to be versus the person that you currently are. And that war happens every day. And it's the person that can win the war in their own mind more often than they lose the war in their own mind that's going to get to where they want to be and that's going to help families the way that they can be helped. You got to realize that when you're onto something good, that means the adversary is going to show up as well. Anxiety is going to start creeping in, doubt, worry, fear. And I want you to understand that doubt, fear, worry, anxiety, those are not emotions of your creator. Those are emotions of the adversary. So when you feel them, that means the adversary's at work. And if the adversary's at work, you are freaking on to something. And you need to know that. So when that anxiety is creeping in, that fear is creeping in, guys, I told you guys earlier, I've been afraid. Heck, sometimes I'm afraid now. I play freaking afraid. I play fearful. Not from a place of, in a negative way, I play from a place of fear of, I'm going to go build something great and I'm going to keep working so we never lose it. I know there's this level of imposter syndrome with that where you're afraid that it's going to fall away, but I use that to an advantage because I feel the anxiety and I allow it to propel me to go become a better leader versus fall into it and succumb to the anxiety. Most of us fall into the anxiety and we just sit still. You can't do that. That will crush you as a man. We have the anxiety of providing for our families. How many of us have felt that before? Especially in the beginning stages of this business when you're trying to get it off the ground and you make a decision to go full time and the income's not there just yet and the anxiety starts creeping in and you start watching your bank account deplete a little bit and then you start thinking, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Here's the problem. There's a big difference between playing not to lose and playing to win. There's a big difference between the two. Playing not to lose and playing to win. And a lot of us right now are playing not to lose, and that's why we're not winning. And we got to go from playing not to lose to playing to win. But if the anxiety keeps getting the best of you, you're going to play not to lose because as things go wrong and that bank account starts dropping a little bit, as you're trying to learn what you need to learn in order to win, that anxiety creeps in, you fall back, you tuck your tail between your legs, and all of a sudden you start to worry and fear. You start looking around because the anxiety's creeping in, and you start looking at things you shouldn't be looking at. You start looking into businesses, you start looking into jobs, you start looking outward, and you don't need to look outward, you need to look inward and say, okay, is this emotion really an emotion that I'm creating? Or is this of the enemy because he knows I'm onto something? You guys with me? Okay? Anxiety will take you out. Number 3, laziness. Laziness. See, guys, the highest form of selfishness is comfort. The highest form of selfishness is comfort. Because to be comfortable, that means you're not thinking about anyone else. You're just thinking about you. How in the world can you be comfortable when you know that there are people in this world that need you? There are families that have not been helped. There are children that are starving. And you're comfortable? We can't operate with comfort. We can't operate with laziness. Man, I see so many good men that just sit in comfort and lazy because they're too fearful to go after something bigger than themselves. Your family deserves better than that. Your children deserve better than that. Laziness will take you out. Number 4, this has been talked about quite a bit. Lust. Lust will take you out. I want you to know this. The flesh is weak. The flesh is weak. Guys, we're all men here, yeah? Trust me, I get it. I freaking get it. So do you know what? I talked about it on a couple of different boats today. My marriage means something to me, but I know that the flesh is weak. So what do? I don't put myself in positions for flesh to be weak. I don't put myself in positions for my flesh to become weak. I'm not going to get in an elevator with another woman. I don't care if she's 73 years old with dentures. Once again, a leader wouldn't say that. You with me? I don't put myself in situations for the flesh to be weak. Do you? I got every blocker on my social media that you could possibly understand. You wanna know why? I'm not gonna put myself in a position where the flesh can be weak. You're giving energy to things, and you're not giving energy to this. It's gonna take you out. 5th thing that will take you out as a man is isolation. If you're in prison, what's the worst thing that you can get thrown into? Solitary confinement. Why? Because when you are isolated, that is deathly as a man. You can only go so long without human interaction before you go crazy and you'll take yourself out. And a lot of us, when things start to go wrong, what do? Do we get closer to the fire or do we move further away from it? We move further away from it and we start to isolate ourselves because we're embarrassed. And we don't want anybody to see our faults. We don't want anybody to see our wrongs. We're too prideful. We're too proud. And we don't want anybody to see that we're struggling. And so we isolate ourselves. The problem is if you are trying to heat up in life, you got to get closer to the fire, not further away from it. You are going to get to points in your life and in your career where things aren't going to go your way, where things are going to be hard, where you're going to have a setback. And you got to rely on your brothers to help pick you up. That's why we're here. It's not just to play some tug of war and have a good time. It's not just to hang out on the lake. It's not just be at the beautiful scenery. It's that way when you get to that low, you have someone to call. We've all been there. I've been there countless times. And I'm so grateful that I have my brothers to go to war with. Me and Franco were over there having a bathroom break next to each other. And Franco looks over at me. He goes, wow. I'm just kidding. That's impressive. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Franco looks over at me. He goes, I just want you to know I'll bury a body for you. And I looked at him. I said, the feeling is mutual, brother. Because we're not in this alone. We're in this together. I'm a better husband and a better dad because of Mike. I'm better because of all of you. I'm not strong because of me. I'm strong because I have 300 brothers that I get to go to war with every single day.